Welcome back, guys. We are back on the Mechanicrafters SMP, and we're going to be talking about everything we've been working on this week. Let's get to it. For those of you who don't know, the Mechanicrafters SMP is an SMP focused on the Create mod, where we build crazy contraptions with a bunch of creators that you can all see linked in the description below. Today, we're going to be going over how we produce a ton of dolomite for the Empire of Milktopia. So the first thing we need to do is get a ton of lava, flint, and lime sand, and I'll show you how we get a ton of lava. So the first thing I want to do is grab a ton of buckets and head into the nether. In the nether, we have built this contraption that pumps lava from pretty much the core of the nether and brings it up to the surface to automatically fill buckets and launch them back into the overworld for us. So we have this flywheel here, just powered by a lava bucket. And this is how it works. Basically, you just put buckets in here. They go on the conveyor belt. Lava's pumped up from the core and just filled up right into the buckets. And then we launch it straight into the overworld to start processing and putting into the tank. Back in the overworld, all the lava buckets land in this hopper or are put onto this conveyor belt eventually. The lava then travels on the conveyor belt, is poured in this drain. The empty buckets go back to be filled into this chest. And all the lava goes into this big tank. Then using a windmill, we pump all of that lava down this giant tubing until it fills these basins with lava so we can produce dolomite. So how do we get the other components of dolomite? Flint and lime sand? Let me show you. The process starts with this row of cobblestone generators. Over here, you can see the cobblestone gets milled into gravel. The gravel comes all the way up, where then it's crushed into sand and then finally milled into lime sand. As you can see, all this lime sand then heads over to the basins where it can be mixed in with the other ingredients. For flint, we have the same process occur to the cobblestone. The cobblestone comes out as gravel after being milled down there, and then the gravel is milled into flint. The flint makes its way into the giant production line. These mechanical presses produce all of the diorite that we need to make dolomite. We have lava, the lime sand, and the flint all mixed together and then pressed. Out comes rows and rows of diorite. The diorite then here is cooked by this fan with lava, and it produces a ton of dolomite, which we can use to build our base. So what do we use all this dolomite for? We use this dolomite to produce the blocks that we need to build the Empire of Milktopia. After running this factory for multiple hours, we had all the dolomite we needed and collected all the other blocks we needed as well. We set up a schematic cannon and created a time lapse of our first island being built. With the schematic cannon finished placing, we added a little decoration, some banners, and we also have yet to make the rings on top spin. We decided we actually really liked the purple glass, and we're just going to keep it purple glass, but we're going to make it spinning in a future episode. After building the gateway of Milktopia, we decided we need to build the heart of Milktopia, which will be a central island that has an engine and powers all of the things that we build in Milktopia. We designed that, and then we got the schematic cannon to start building it. With the first 2 islands pretty much complete, I'm now going to give you a tour of Milktopia. The entrance to Milktopia is this just simple stairway, and you can enter the gateway of Milktopia. We plan to, in the future, add beacons over there and there, to just make it nice and make the rings on top spin. When inside the gateway of Milktopia, if we press this button, this elevator will take us down into the Council of Milk. Here we have all these cows that will advise us and guide us on our journeys as an empire. I can't find any other better place to get wisdom than right here. Look at this cow. See how wise he is? See what he has to say. See, the best answer is nothing. It's pretty deep. Past the gateway of Milktopia, we have the heart of Milktopia. This is going to be the hub of our empire. Up here, on these staircases, we plan to build our main base of operations with our nice crafting tables, auto crafters, enchanting tables. Just make this a nice safe area compared to the area we've been living way down there where we die to zombies like every video. In the bottom portion of the heart of Milktopia, we have the engine room. Oz designed this insane engine that inputs tons and tons of wood and produces tons and tons of coal that keep this running and producing rotational energy for our empire. Another big plus from this engine is that it produces a ton of surplus charcoal, which we can make charcoal blocks and sell to the other Mechanicrafters for diamonds. So you may be asking, how do we get so much wood to power the engine? Basically, we've created this massive, like insanely massive tree farm, which produces tons and tons of blocks of wood. We can send all that wood up these jumps all the way to the engine room to be burned into charcoal and energy. You can see all this wood is outputted. After the cart's done all its cutting down, we sort out all the stuff we don't want, and we send all these blocks just boing straight to the heart of Milktopia. It's really satisfying. We thought it looked really funny, and it's pretty cool. Now that I've turned on the wood farm, the engine is now up and running, producing tons of charcoal, which self-powers itself and creates tons of rotational energy. Let's go take a look at what we're currently using this energy for. Right now we're using all the rotational energy this produces to have this nice fan, which is just purely for aesthetic. It really does nothing, but it looks pretty cool. In the future, we plan to use the rest of the rotational energy that this engine produces to help us with all of our other farms and mechanisms. Produces hundreds of thousands of stress units, so we will be able to power pretty much our whole empire with this one engine. A lot of people ask me, guys, what is the political standpoints of Milktopia? We pretty much like everyone except anyone who likes foul berries. So basically, foul berries are these berries on the ground that just give you poison. Like, why would you like them? Like, other Mechanicrafters all of a sudden are like, oh, foul berries, I like them. But it's like, Milktopia does not support that. If you guys see any other Mechanicrafters who actually like foul berries, just remind them in the comments, Milktopia does not support foul berries. Just let them know that milk is superior. That's all the stuff I'm going to be able to cover this week. Next week, we've got big things planned, so make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. Check out the other Mechanicrafters below, and go drink some milk.